Hello and welcome back. First, it was BLM going belly up, and now there are serious concerns that America's top racism guru has squandered tens of millions of dollars. Dr. Ibram X. Kendi has made a fortune lecturing white liberals on how hateful they are, thanks to his best-selling 2019 book, How to Be Anti-Racist. Watch.
Well, I'm actually teaching people to see racism. There's a difference. Like the race is a mirage, but racism is real. And it's, you know who's the most likely to be harmed by racism? Our children. And you know who we're the least likely to engage about it? Our children.
Our children.
You know, that's what's really propelling me to do this work.
Oh, he's really doing the Lord's work. After the death of George Floyd, Boston University hired Dr. Kendi as a professor and allowed him to raise tens of millions of dollars to start an anti-racist center, a research center. Well, that was a huge mistake. The college has launched an inquiry into the center over the allegations of financial mismanagement. It has only produced 2 research papers since it started and just had to lay off half the staff. A former employee describes Dr. Kendi as some sort of power-drunk tyrant. One professor who works there is asking, what happened to the money? Quote, "It's pretty hard for me to imagine. They blew through $30 million in 2 years. We have reached out to Dr. Kendi for comment. We have not heard back. That's very surprising. So, Judge, where do you think the money went? That's a lot of money, $30 million for a research center.
Well, $30 million and 2 papers in 2 years. Now, if you have 30 people on staff, or no, not 30. 45 people, and now they're down to like 25. They cut them in half, whatever the number is. So you didn't pay them that $30 million. So it's either embezzlement, some kind of fraud, or, it is, being used for something we don't know about. And the sad part about this is that it's disappointing that all the money that was raised in the aftermath of George Floyd, whether it's by BLM or by this gentleman, was not used for those in the inner city, for those who needed it the most, for young kids, for education. For this guy who, is apparently an egomaniac who comes out and says, I got 2 papers and I know everything there is to know about what's going on. And the problem is that with BLM and with this, and with the destruction that happened after George Floyd, the neighborhoods and the businesses and the communities, the precedent is there now. Everybody knows that you can burn down buildings and neighborhoods and businesses if you're upset about it, and there won't be any consequences to you. And, this guy, he's a disappointment, and he lectures us on what's wrong with our culture, when in reality, it's what's wrong with him.
Yeah, and you had a lot of people who were working at the center who really looked up to him and wanted to continue the work that he had started. And they're his most vocal critics, saying that he is an authoritarian, he is abusive, and there are a lot of redundancies there, and they have no idea where the money went. So are people being racist, questioning the good doctor?
Oh, I hadn't even heard that, which is a nice break from the usual conversation about these things. And he says that they're moving to a, quote, fellowship model. We'll see how that goes.
Just like hobbits.
That's sexist. Women can't be fellows.
Good point, Greg.
Thank you.
I think we can.
Okay, fellow.
We are. Okay. Things like this happen in higher education too often. And people who are critics of them always say, well, the money could have been spent this way. And this happens on both sides, right? You have your pet projects or your ideas that you think are more important. So you say, well, we could have taken that $30 million and we could have done this. And I wish that there was infinite money that we could make sure that we eradicate all problems facing us in society. But spending money on something like this, which, by the way, for Boston University, gets a lot of kids to want to come there, right, to be part of these conversations, gets academics to want to leave wherever they are to come to be part of this anti-racist center. I hope they get to the bottom of wherever this money is going and also take a long look at the unbelievable amount of money that is pumped through these institutions and are not doing what you should be with the money, which is educating kids and giving kids also more of a shot at going to these institutions, giving more scholarship money, living off your endowments more than just taking and taking and taking.
Well, they are taking from the federal government.
Well,
I mean,
not for all of it.
The more you have the federal
grant.
government involved in education like this, but it's not surprising that Boston University fell for a scam like this, is it?
No, no one could have ever seen this coming, Kennedy. Not in a million years would this guy lose $30 million. Jessica, this doesn't happen all the time. When do people just lose $30 million? I've never seen this happen. $30 million is gone. And this guy is like getting investigated by Boston University. How about the IRS gets involved? How about the U.S. attorney up in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts gets involved? This is a massive scam, and everyone's dancing around it because he's black. You know, who cares what color he is? He just stole $30 million, which could have been used for scholarships for African Americans at Boston University. And that's the point. When you're in the racism industry, you don't want racism to go away. You want to perpetuate it. And that's what he was doing. He was teaching people to see racism. Think about how crazy that is. He wasn't trying to get rid of racism. He was teaching people to go in and look for racism wherever they could find it. Now, it's funny that racism's going away, but the racism industry is getting bigger. And I just hope that this guy spends lots of time behind bars, because that's what he deserves.
You need people to be able to recognize racism in order to get it to go away.
No, you also don't need people making up racism, like the professor who created institutional racism. They just found out he fraudulently concocted all the data in his research reports, and now he's been fired. Institutional racism doesn't exist, apparently.
Well, it's racist if we don't bring Greg in. Greg?
That's true, because I identify as a black man. And I want to say this, nobody went to BU to go to this center. They go to BU to drink. And you don't, no parent wants their kid to be educated by this nonsense, this dreck. However, I got to give him credit. It's a great scam. He married the accusations of racism to not funding his escapades. Because if BLM taught us anything besides how to riot, it's that there are millions of white virtue signaling folks ready and eager to part with their money so they won't be called racist. It's a great scam. I give him credit. As for his employees now turning on him, we talked about this before. You never hire people who put their pronouns in their resume, because they're making a personal demand up front and they're going to turn on you because it's all about me, me, me. How ironic is it that the king of oppression is now being accused of being an oppressor by the very people that he hired? It's a red flag for trouble. You don't hire those people. He did. I love it. I love it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.